Oh, look at that. I'm apparently live. That is not typically how it works. Usually start my streaming software and then then it asks me if I want to go live first. So, that was a bit of a surprise, but looks like it's working. So, that's good. Um yeah, I just thought I would pop on here, give my new setup a go, see how y'all like it, make sure that everything's working okay, and yeah, just let you guys know that I'm still alive. And coronavirus is not fun, but I think I'm pretty lucky that I had a moderate case. Didn't get um, it wasn't mild by any definition, but it didn't put me in the hospital, so I'm very grateful for that. So in that respect, I certainly got lucky. Here we go. Comments are flooding in. Okay. How are you feeling? I'm feeling okay. It's kind of slow getting back to any sense of normalcy. I kind of went through all of the symptoms that are possible. So at the beginning, I had like sort of flu-like symptoms, severe headache, chills, fever, all that kind of good stuff, and then that gave way to loss of taste and coughing and all that kind of good stuff. Right now, I'm just more or less feeling constantly fatigued, and I have a lot of cold-like symptoms, so just tons of congestion and, always feeling that like there's gunk in my throat. So hopefully I'll be through that in the next few days and life can continue on as normal. Knock on wood. Did I really come here right at the start? Yes, you did. I just kind of decided, look at that. I just decided randomly to go live. All right. Well, I have a special guest. I've been rebuilding the studio, trying to use my downtime to at least get something done, be somewhat productive. So I just kind of tore the whole studio apart. Ordered some new toys from Amazon so that I could make my live streams better. So this is kind of the halfway point, I guess. Luckily, my body is obstructing the mountain of cables that's behind me, but yeah. Good morning. Glad you're doing better. Thank you. Good morning back to you. I mean, it's the evening for me. It's a little late for drinking coffee, but yeah. Love your guest. Yes, I love her too. She's pretty camera shy. I think the moment that she realized that she was on camera, she actually she's just out of sight, which is funny. She always likes to hover just sort of around the line of sight. And she doesn't like being alone. So she's here. She's being pesky, being a bit of a pest. That's what cats do. Do you want a Sprite cranberry? To be honest, right now, I'd rather have a vodka cranberry, but it's kind of a double whammy because it's nüchtern November for me, which means no drinking. and also I'm sick. So I think for both those reasons, I'm gonna have to, wait for that vodka for a little while. Take care of your health. Yes, I'm trying to do that. I try to get as much sleep as possible. The not drinking thing is pretty helpful, I think. What's funny though is that like I do kind of like when I started feeling better the other day, like still feeling bad, I was like craving beer. I was like, I really, really want a beer, but I thought it's probably not a good decision, but I did check with the World Health Organization to see maybe there was some like weird evidence that, hey, like drinking a beer will help you recover quicker from coronavirus. Now, that is not the case. The World Health Organization recommends drinking no alcohol whatsoever. So, yeah, still sober November for me. You look thin. You've lost a lot of weight. No, I've actually not really lost that much weight. And if I have, it's because I'm not drinking alcohol. I am certainly filling my calorie quota per day by eating cookies because it's a little early. It's not Christmas season just yet, but Grandma is making tons and tons of cookies and cake, and I'm eating them. So, yeah, don't worry about that. Ooh, again, have you gotten thinner? I guess I should weigh myself, but I don't believe that I've lost any weight. Although that was part of the goal of Sober November, was to really, really get in shape. Because, yeah. Oh, our guest is back. And she's gone again. She's just crawling all over the desk, shaking things up, and now she's watching me from the corner. Good girl. Yeah, so the part of the whole Sober November thing was to try to get back in shape, but I can't really work out right now, or at least not much. I tried doing a bit of yoga today, but after like 7 or 8 minutes, I was winded. So, yeah, slowly but surely, I'll be back in the swing of things, I hope. Did you have any trouble breathing or fever? I had pretty gnarly fever for like 2 or 3 days. I never went over 39 degrees Celsius, so like 102. Thank God. Haven't really had any fever in the last 5-6 days, something like that. And then the last time I did, it was just sort of like hovering around like 99, 100, whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I got lucky with that as well, because, yeah, a lot of people were dealing with super high fever for extended periods of time. So I had some friends writing me saying that they had like insanely high fever for like almost 2 weeks. So that's oh wow. Very good. Very good, Kat. I can't read the comments when you stand in front of the screen. All right. You are too much. And luckily, no, I didn't have any like serious breathing things. I did. Oh, she's sighing. She's really not having this. You want to play, don't you? She probably wants to play. Yeah, I mean, I feel like my lungs are a bit heavy, and um, I've got to cough stuff up from time to time, but it's really not so bad. And given the fact that I have asthma, I'm pretty well stocked on like asthma medications, so like rescue inhalers and long lasting inhalers, and I take daily steroids. And I wonder if the sort of taking the daily steroids was beneficial and kind of helped me avoid the worst. You know what I mean? Are you guys locked down there? Yeah, we just entered our second lockdown. Might even be our third. Yeah, we just went into lockdown at the beginning of the month. I think it is going to stay in effect for another few days, maybe sometime next week. It's either the middle of the month or the end of the month it ends. But I'm pretty sure they'll just sort of, whenever it ends, I'm sure they'll extend it, because Austria, where I'm living right now, we were number one in the world for new infections per capita. So, go Austria, right? And apparently the numbers are still going up. I mean, it's not as bad, but I think they really want to avoid overwhelming the health system. But our numbers right now are like worse than they were back in March. So I get it. So wait, Daniel caught the Rona. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I wasn't even being a super big risk taker. I wasn't going out and partying or anything like that. It's just somebody kind of close in my inner circle got sick, and then I got sick, and it just kind of spread like wildfire through my inner circle. So, it just takes one. Eating poo makes you well. I think I will. I'll let you try that out. Sweden has restrictions until February. Yeah, I talked to a good friend of mine. She lives. She's actually American, but she lives in Stockholm with her Swedish husband, and she was telling me that yeah, their restrictions are going to be in place until February 28th. So I'm assuming something similar for mainland Europe. But again, like, I certainly understand why. It's good to see that you are better now. I hope you won't get any long-term issues. Yeah, I mean, I hope that as well, obviously. Um, I mean, I do have some friends that dealt with residual effects for, 6 weeks, which I'm really hoping is not the case for me, because I'm quite anxious to kind of get back into the normal swing of things. Got a lot of work, got a lot of big plans for 2021. So, yeah, the kind of sooner that I can dive into that full force, the better. Will this affect any upcoming concerts in 2021 or 2022? 2021 is basically, I mean, at least the first half of 2021, you can pretty much forget that for regular concerts. And I think kind of the whispers in the industry are that touring is not really going to return to kind of the way it was for a very long time. It's not just a matter of, the vaccine or the virus. It's just kind of like let's say the infrastructure took a big hit. So it was like clubs and promoters and all that kind of stuff. It's not just a matter of, making sure that concert goers are safe. It's making sure that, there are still venues to tour in. There's, promoters have money to pay fees. A lot of people are talking about there being like, a massive rush on touring as soon as things open up again, which certainly will be the case. I think a lot of people are going to have option paralysis, or at least sort of a limitation on the amount of concerts that they can attend because of time, money, all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a whole host of factors that are really going to influence the time it takes for the music industry to heal. And we're certainly not going to be, you're certainly not going to see international touring return for a good long while. The first lockdown, I didn't know anyone with it. The second lockdown, I've seen a large number of friends and family who have it now. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way that it seems to be going, at least in my world. I didn't really know a lot of people that had it at the beginning of all of this. And then, now now it seems like I can't go on social media without, reading that a friend, colleague, or acquaintance has it. So, again, I feel pretty lucky to have. Oh God, please don't break my ceramic cats. Get out of here. Oh. I have ceramic cats all over on my desk, and the real cat was jumping around, and I want to make sure she doesn't break anything. Yeah, so fingers crossed that nobody that I mean, obviously, I don't want anybody to get super ill, but I am indeed worried about the people in my life who are high risk. Maybe if everybody is in a Zorb ball at the concert. I'm not really sure what a Zorb ball is, but yeah, I mean, I did see that Flaming Lips did the show where everybody was in a big plastic bubble. But you got to kind of obviously that's pretty funny, and these kinds of novelty shows are cool to watch, make you laugh, that type of thing. But you got to think about the logistical hurdles that have to be overcome in order to make something like that feasible in a large scale, because that Flaming Lip show only had 100 patrons. And, it's like when I do a show, the shows that only have like 100 attendees really take a huge bite out of the budget, because, with 100 paying customers, you can't even cover your overhead costs so it's like you can't even afford to put on the show with 100 patrons. So it's like those kind of shows operate at a loss typically. And if you want to do that, throughout an entire tour, you're either going to have to triple or quadruple the ticket price, which, especially given the way things are right now, it's like people can't afford to pay triple or quadruple for a concert ticket. And, or you're just losing money at every single show. So it's, there's really, really a lot of issues that need to be addressed before this comes back. Will there be a Paris concert soon? To be honest, I'm not really thinking about concerts at the moment for all the reasons that I just kind of laid out. Obviously, I would love to return to Paris, love to get back on the road in general. But right now, I'm focused on my enormous, crazy endeavor that I've got in store for next year. So I'm not going to talk about, or I'm not going to give too much away at the moment. But it's safe to say that this is a really, really exciting project. And I think it's going to, hopefully, I'm hoping that it scratches, an itch that people have for the coming year. But yeah, if you can't wait and you really want to know all about it, maybe head over to imperfect-society.net and sign up. If you join that community there, we are talking at length about my grand scheme, my fantastic idea. And yeah, you can be a part of it. Drink more tea. The heat helps if you're doing a lot of talking. I actually don't do a lot of talking. This is the most talking I've done in a while, at least since I've been sick. As I said, I've just constantly felt like I've had like crap in my throat. Haven't really been able to sing, which is super frustrating. It's like that was another sort of motivation behind Sober November, was to just like not drink and get my voice like super in shape, because I noticed that when I drink, it totally negatively affects my voice the next day. So it's like anything beyond like 2 beers or whatever, I wake up the next day and I'm like, ugh, feel that. So yeah, that was really part of the motivation for doing that. So hopefully my voice comes back soon and I can dedicate, at least the second half of the month to that. Otherwise, may have to dip into Christmas season just a little bit. Obviously, I do love having my port and all that kind of Christmas goodies and shit during the holiday season. But it's also, important to take care of my voice and my body and all that kind of good stuff. Oh, but that was my long-winded way of saying I drink a ton of tea anyways. Drink like probably too much tea. I had tickets to your Boise concert that ended up canceled. I'm sad that I never got to see you live. Well, don't worry. This is not bye forever. This is just see you later. There's no doubt in my mind that touring will return. It's just really a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. So, if you're talking about the tour that we had scheduled with Lords of Acid, I do know that they are absolutely intending to reschedule that show or that tour. They keep, they keep rescheduling the tour, and then obviously it keeps getting pushed back. But yeah, it's like I try to remain optimistic, and I do my best to be a silver linings type guy, which is why I'm not too, don't let myself get too beat down by the current situation, having coronavirus, all that kind of stuff. It's all you can really do is make the best out of the situation that you're dealt. Bro, your internet is officially way better than ever. This looks and sounds amazing. I thought you were on a talk show or something. Fuck yes, that is exactly what I want to hear. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was high time that I, took my live streaming game up a notch. not only for my Patreon supporters who have been so unbelievably patient with me and my internet issues over the last year since I moved out to Austria, but yeah, just for, all of you guys at home who are not Patreon supporters yet. But yeah, I think just in terms of wanting to compete in the YouTube landscape, I think you've really got to, you've got to give people something with quality, and just opening up your laptop doesn't really cut it anymore. With those the grainy, jittery images, just people don't want to watch that anymore. So I'm officially investing a lot of time and energy into this, and the only reason that I can do all this is because of my Patreon supporters. So thank you. New vinyl, please. Yeah, I don't know about that. Vinyl is incredibly expensive to press. It is very hard to sell right now. And actually, the company that I was using to press my vinyl, they went under. So I don't even know who makes vinyl in the United States anymore. It's there were two companies, two major companies, and the one that I was using that was based in LA, they went under. And so I think it's this other one that I think they're based in Texas, but I don't know them. I don't have any connections there. They're it. And there might be one other small one, but yeah, it's pickings are slim, and the weight is unreal. It's for the company in LA, I had an in with them. Basically, a friend of mine, he had a friend that worked there, and so they got my vinyl bumped up in the queue, and it still took well over 3 months to have it manufactured. But usually the wait time is half a year. Ooh, biggest high from Novosibirsk. Shit. Not gonna lie, Novosibirsk is one of my number one bucket list places to hit. I want to go to Novosibirsk, and I also want to go to Vladivostok. Ah, okay. I don't know if you were touring with Lords of Acid, but your van broke down or something a few years ago, and you ended up having to cancel just the Boise concert. Yes, that's right. That was back in 2017. That was the Industrial Pop Tour, and I remember it well because, I not only did, I think it was two of our vans broke down, so we ended up getting 3 different vehicles throughout the course of that tour. But yes, it was not only did our vehicle die in Denver, I also got super sick and was locked in a hotel room with 3 other people for 3 days while I was insanely sick, so sick that it was embarrassing. So yeah, that was probably one of the worst experiences of my entire life. Online collaborations to produce a Bruderschaft 2.0 supergroup. Well, I'm not doing that, but I am doing a lot of awesome collaborations right now. And if you sign up for the Imperfect Society, you can get the skinny on it before everyone else does. Ah, okay. Just coming in. How's your health? As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm currently, on the mend from coronavirus. It is not something I recommend getting. But that said, I am on the mend, and I'm super grateful that I didn't have, a life-threatening case. I was worried because I have asthma, and there's not I guess there's no clear evidence whether or not that makes you at higher risk for having a more severe case. But it is a lung condition, and coronavirus is a respiratory virus. So, better to be safe than sorry, right? And I was certainly concerned for a few days, but like I said, I got lucky, just kind of still dealing with the lingering residual effects, like my voice and coughing and just general fatigue and malaise. But I try to remain optimistic and hoping that in the next week or so, it'll be business as usual. So how does it work? Is the virus completely out of your body now? Or, I don't know. I'm technically on lockdown, or let's say quarantine, for 2 or 3 more days. Is it the 12th or the 13th? Either way, the 15th is my last day of quarantine. Then I'm allowed to sort of return to the world. So I've been, I think I got infected. I think I got infected on the 30th, which would mean I'm most likely not contagious anymore. But who knows? I'd be curious what a test would reveal right now, but based on everything that I've heard, I should not be contagious, and I'm probably not shedding much of the virus, even if it is still, all up in there. Do you play Call of Duty Warzone or something online? I'm not really much of a gamer. I do play Call of Duty from time to time, but like the only thing I'm into is free for all. Yeah, it's like I'm not really into games with narratives or things like that. I just more or less like playing the same thing over and over again. It's very sort of I like the repetitive nature of it. I guess it's probably because of my ADHD. But yeah, I tend to like things that are very repetitive, and it's just basically trying to solve the same puzzle over and over again. So maybe I should take up Rubik's cubes. Do you know how you contracted it? Yes, someone in my inner circle, they got sick, but the people in my inner circle didn't wear a mask around them. Obviously didn't do any sort of like contact, hugging, kissing, handshaking, whatever. I haven't done anything like that since I want to say March, but yeah, it's just someone in my inner circle. They got unlucky, they got sick, gave it to me, and then the next day, like, they got hit super hard with it, and I was like, holy shit, it's gonna be, I'm gonna be next. And then was like, I think on the first or the second Monday night, like I just felt like, I don't know, that sort of like vague feeling when you're getting sick. We're just like, uh-oh, something ain't right here. So I felt that on, like, it was a Monday night, and then I woke up on Tuesday like, it was, yeah, not pleasant. Ooh, do you have Instagram? Yes, absolutely. Instagram is actually the social media platform that I'm most active on at the moment. So I've got my personal account, which mainly use to just kind of talk about my personal life and my journey with the German language. So I try to, when I'm not delirious with COVID, try to make the majority of my posts in German to practice my German. And that is, the account is I am Daniel Graves. And then I always forget, is it this is aesthetic perfection or we are aesthetic perfection? on the... This is Aesthetic Perfection. Yes. So that is my, that is the band account. I want to subscribe to you. Yes. Well, you can do that by going to imperfect-society.net or joining me on Instagram or basically all of my other social media. Daniel_Graves on Twitter, Aesthetic Perfection on Facebook, all the good things. But like I said, Instagram is really my most sort of active social media right now. That and YouTube. Those are the kind of main focuses for the moment. You applied at the Imperfect Society page. Yeah, by the way, if you are a Patreon supporter and you want to join the super duper secret Instagram, We Are the Imperfect Society, be sure to send me a private message through the Patreon app. That way I know who you are and what your handle is, because a lot of you guys have different names on Patreon than you have on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes I just don't know who's who. You guys are cheeky that way. All right. Oh, of course, there's like a new... There we go. All right. And you are now approved on the Imperfect Society Instagram. All right. So, yes, let's say 5 more minutes, and then I will let you guys go. Because, to be honest, this is kind of exhausting. Yeah, I'm still not over this stupid Corona thing, and this kind of shit just takes a lot out of you. It is not fun. Not fun. Have you ever listened to any of my remixes of your songs? I don't know. Maybe. Have you sent them to me directly? Because usually when people like tag me in those types of things, I often don't see it. So if you have remixes or things that you want me to hear, please send me an email. That is literally the best way to get a hold of me. My social media inboxes are a friggin' nightmare, and I miss a lot of messages in there. So if you were a Rammstein song, which one would you be? Oof. I mean, my favorite Rammstein song is Tier. But that song is about a guy having sex with his sister. And so I wouldn't want to use that song to describe me. I also don't have a sister. I don't have any siblings. I'm an only child. But yeah. So then I'll say Keine Lust. Because, despite the fact that I am quite, let's say, try to be an industrious person, I'm I'm actually quite lazy at heart. Were you scared when you got the positive test result? Yeah, certainly. Because, you're unsure of which way it's going to go, right? And like I said, I'm someone that has asthma, and even though there's no definitive link between asthma and severe COVID cases, you ask yourself, am I going to be the one? And then you have these moments where you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, can I breathe? I don't know if I can breathe. And it's just like the anxiety of those moments, makes you have a panic attack, and you can't breathe, not because of the virus, but because you're having an anxiety attack. And that certainly happened to me a couple of times. So it's a scary thing. And I absolutely do not recommend doing it, going through it. No fun. Oh, coffee's gone. You remind me of the lizard from Alice in Wonderland. There's a lizard in Alice in Wonderland? No, there's not. What? Oh, yeah, the guy with the ladder. Bill the Lizard, that's right. Well, shit, I don't like that. That's not... Bill looks fucked up, man. What? No, I reject that comparison. What time is it there? It is close to 6:30 in the evening. Bill the Lizard. Fuck. What color is your favorite? I guess red. Probably red. Did you have another live keyboardist lined up before COVID hit? No, I didn't, because Elliot left just a few weeks ago, and we were already like super deep into the pandemic. So yeah, no, didn't have a replacement for him before the pandemic. Don't have a replacement for him now. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It is going to be really, really difficult to find a replacement for him, because not only is he a super talented multi-instrumentalist, he's also a very knowledgeable tech. So, I mean, he wears a lot of hats on tour, not only as a musician, but sort of, a stage manager of sorts. And I think I've said it's going to take like 3 people to fill his shoes, because like you need a keyboardist, you need a guitarist, and you need a stage tech to fulfill all those roles. But obviously, I'm super happy for Elliot that he is, giving his solo project like, the attention that it needs. I think he's always kind of let the bands that he plays in be sort of second fiddle, so to say, to the touring projects that he was working in. And yeah, so he really wants to give, I can't ever say it, Nid build. You can't ever say like black metal names. Yeah. But he's really gonna give Nid build his all, and I wish him the best. Come to Novosibirsk, please. Yes, I would love to. I would love to go. There's a lot of places I'd love to go to, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait on touring for a while. But I assure you that Novosibirsk is on my short list of places to play, as well as Vladivostok. I've also never been to Ekaterinburg, so there's a lot of Russian cities that I'd love to see. Have you listened to Eric 13's new song? I've not heard it yet, actually. I saw that he put something out, but the timeline sort of moves so quickly that you just forget it sometimes. So I'll have to check that out when we're done here. If you could have a lightsaber, which one? I would want the classic one. I don't like any of the weird, like later generation lightsabers. I guess if I like any of the modified ones, it's the Darth Maul one, because that seems like to be the most practical one. However, I think that Kylo Ren's one with the hilt is really stupid, because, how's that hilt ever going to work? It's not. So, yeah. Vampire or werewolf? Vampire. Because they're sexier. Or let's say they have more style. Do you play computer games? No, I don't really. Like I said, I don't play games. I'm not really interested in that kind of stuff. Prefer to spend my free time doing sort of passive entertainment, like movies, series, that kind of thing. Or reading. I mean, reading's active, but yeah, I'm not really a game type person, because I feel like it takes too much of my brain power, unless it's just, playing like Call of Duty or whatever, which feels sort of mindless. My friend says that bands in Europe are doing gigs where fans will rent out hotel rooms on one side of a hotel and the band plays below. Have you heard about this yet? Yeah, I saw that. I think they did this, I want to say in Italy, where it's like the band played outside, like on an open air stage, and people were able to stand on their balconies and watch the show that way. But really, again, like my sort of issue with all of this is that they're not really practical in terms of the scaling them. You could do 1 or 2 gigs like that, but there's no way that you could go on a tour like that. And the problem is that something like that would have really, really high overhead costs in terms of like building up a stage, getting people to rent out hotel rooms, all of this kind of stuff. It's like, this is not tenable on a large scale, which is kind of unfortunate. The games that I have on my shelf. So, we'll go through these real quick, and then I will go. The only game that I have ever played to completion, like in story mode, is Resident Evil. So, Amazon was blowing out like Resident Evil 7, so I bought it. And I literally played probably 10 or 15 minutes because it's like a first person shooter style. That is terrible. I don't want my Resident Evil games to be a first person shooter. I don't know. It was really obnoxious. So that was $20 well spent. This is Mortal Kombat. My buddy got me this as a gift. I do like fighting games because it's something that you can play with your friends. And of course, Call of Duty. I'm not really a big fan of Black Ops though, because I don't know. It ended up being too much like what's that futuristic game? Halo. Yeah, so I don't like Halo. I don't like flying around in jetpacks and stuff like that. I like Call of Duty because it's just like, hey, you got a gun, you run around, you pull the trigger. It's like, I don't want to know how to fly like a jetpack, shit like that. So was not super into Black Ops 3. And then this is FIFA. And I bought this for one reason and one reason only. My booking agent came to stay with me when I was living in LA. And obviously him being European, he really, really loves soccer. And so he pestered me over and over again and asked me why I don't play FIFA. And I explained to him that I'm American and I don't give a shit about soccer. And so he pestered me some more. So I literally drove to Best Buy and I bought FIFA 18 and I bought another controller and we played FIFA. And I have not played FIFA since then. So that was also money well spent, right? Okay. Did you always use Logic or have you explored Cubase, Ableton, or Fruity Loops? So I try to be as, let's say, flexible with software as possible. Logic is like my main thing. Logic has been my main thing ever since 2006 when I switched from Cubase to Logic. My first album was actually done in Cubase. And the first thing that I ever did in Logic was the Aganoi's Sacrifice remix. So that was the first thing I ever completed in Logic. I do use Native Instruments Machina. I use Reason. I even bought Ableton because I wanted to switch up sort of my writing and producing style. I still think that Logic will be my main thing, but I like other software bits because it sort of changes the way that you think and the way that you approach a production. And I think that as an artist, it's really, really important to be as flexible as possible. And I think that every software has its, let's say, strengths and weaknesses. And I think I would be wise to sort of explore Ableton a little bit more. So I bought Ableton because I thought I was going to use it as a piece of like playback software. So for the last couple of tours, but it ended up not working out. So, that was $500 well spent. But yeah, so I'm thinking with this giant project that I'm doing next year that maybe Ableton would be a really good, or that would be a perfect time to sort of explore Ableton and say, okay, I'm going to do a song with Ableton. So, yeah. Have you been recording new music since you can't tour? Yes, absolutely. I've been so insanely prolific lately. Like I've got so much new material. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, wait. Yes, I actually do know what to do with it. And I've got a great, awesome, big plan for 2021. And if you want to find out about that plan, join us over at the Imperfect Society at imperfect-society.net. It's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to embark on this absolutely fucking insane journey that I'm about to go on. That was so not wise to buy Ableton. I had a very good reason for doing it, but we won't go into that. I'm just going to read these in English. What's up with your German? Is it going okay? Yeah, ever since the COVID thing, I obviously have not been devoting a lot of time or energy to German. I was feeling quite, let's say, brain dead. It was like really impossible for me to think in German or really sort of string sentences together. Now sort of the fog is beginning to lift slowly. So I think next week I'm going to go back hitting the German pretty hard. Hopefully I didn't set myself back too much, but obviously I didn't get to get my body in shape or my voice in shape or my German in shape the last couple of weeks. It's all just sort of life's been put on hold, which sucks, but what are you going to do? That sounds amazing. I hope to see you live in 2021. Not likely, but I promise what I've got in store for you for 2021 is pretty darn cool. Majorly bummed about the cancellation of the Lords of Acid tour. Any chance of a reschedule? At least I saw you in Baltimore with XRX. Yeah, that was a fun show. I think that was the last time we actually played in Baltimore. Okay, so yes, I did mention this earlier, but they are indeed rescheduling the Lords of Acid tour. They keep rescheduling it, and for reasons I'm sure you can imagine, it keeps getting postponed. I'm really hoping that they get it locked down for early 2022. It's kind of where I'm at. If you want to practice your German, I will help you. I really appreciate that. I'm thinking of starting maybe a German language channel in our Discord so that we can all, engage with one another in German. I do have a German-speaking wife and extended family, so I do tend to speak a lot of German with them. Well, I don't speak much German with my wife, but with my in-laws and things like that, speak almost exclusively German. So I think probably a good way to do that would be to start a German language. I wanted to say subreddit. I don't know what it's called in Discord, but start a Discord channel for German speakers there, so that we can all just engage in the language. I find that super helpful. And also when you can write, it's easier than speaking, because it's like speaking requires you to think a lot faster, and writing, you've got you've got a little bit of extra time for that. What makes people want to learn German? Well, I do live in Austria, and I think that it's incredibly important to learn the language of the country that you live in. I think even if you can get by only speaking English, I think that it's a pity, because there's so much to be learned from a culture by speaking their language. I mean, you sort of understand the way that people think, you understand their humor, you're able to consume their art and it's just like films and books and all that kind of stuff. You're able to consume those things as they were written, and I think that gives you a lot of insight into the way a culture is, and think that you really, really lose out on that if you try to just have everything translated, or just to say, okay, I'm just gonna speak English with people. When did you leave LA? I left LA on August 30th, 2019. So I've been here just a little bit over a year. German is a difficult language anyway. The grammar is mean. I'm a native speaker, and even then, it's not as easy as English. Yes, you are absolutely true. The German grammar is terrible and cruel, and really makes me want to tear my hair out if I had some. Can you throw in the Discord link? I actually do not have the Discord link on this computer. So maybe Aaron or Lodia, maybe you can toss that in there for everybody. I just don't have it. Just don't have it on me. You could create a German song, text with the people in German Discord. I've actually got a German language song that I'm working on now. We'll see if that ever gets released. Most Germans do not know the grammar properly, if that is any consolation for you. Yes, I know. Most of you guys just, it depends on the dialect, but here in Austria, people just tend to ignore dative, and people also just kind of ignore conjunctive eins, and that, I think that is makes it really, really hard as a non-native speaker and somebody who's working on the language, when you start really listening to people and going wait a minute, they're saying that wrong. Yeah. Okay, guys, I am going to let you go. Wow, we did this for an hour. I did not expect that. But hey, I'm super glad that this is working. I'm super glad that this is working back here in my studio. I wasn't sure if the internet would ever be fast enough for this. I'm super glad that the microphone works, that the new camera works, that everything looks and feels super professional, and I'm going to keep working on that. If you want to join our Discord, well, then ask Elodia or Aaron, because I don't have it on me. And if you want to join our super amazing community, hop over to imperfect-society.net. Those are the people who help keep Aesthetic Perfection alive, make all of this great stuff possible, and they are the people who will make next year's endeavor possible, and I am super stoked about it. There we go. There's the Discord link. Well, actually, that looks like a Reddit link, but it will take you to Discord. Yeah. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I'll see you on the internet. Bye.